Well, as you can see, Father Christmas has been. Got some thorn-proof dressing. And that's because, as the title suggests, I've repaired my old Beaufort. So I'm going to take a look at that, but I'm also going to review, a 1-year review, that's also in the title, of the Bristol Jacket that I'm wearing now. I've just been outside on a bit of a, yeah, I won't say a run, but it's definitely a fast walk. Time to get some of this bloody Christmas fat that we all get at Christmas time, or the Christmas period. It's not just one day. Anywho, let's look at this Bristol Jacket, because it's a year old now, over a year old. And on the face of it, yeah, the wax looks nice, and it's a nice long jacket. I do like the style and everything else, but there's a fundamental flaw, well, two, but one of them isn't really the jacket's fault, that's my fault. The fundamental flaw is this. The inside of these sleeves are soaking. Not as bad as it has been before for whatever reason, but they're totally wet, and you can feel your arms get cold. And it's because they've created a double membrane, waterproof membrane. You've got your waterproof on the outside, then they've put this on the inside, like a ground sheet material, instead of the tartan cotton lining. No, I've never had a problem with sweating on my arms on any jacket I've had, let alone Barbour's. So, if anyone sees this from the Barbour company, I think you've made a bit of a boo-boo, because it's not very good. You end up as wet on the inside as you do on the outside. So basically, and it's generally, it's a little bit warm. If it's really freezing cold, we've just had really freezing weather, it's not too bad. You still get it, but when it rains and the outside gets sodden, then your arms really steam up on the inside, and that's a shame, because they're a smart jacket. There's another thing I was going to talk about, was the lack of the poacher's pocket, but that's not the jacket's fault, that's my fault, because I'm not used to a poacher's pocket. So what do I do with this? What do I do with this Bristol jacket? Well, it's now really my best jacket. If I go into town with the wife, we're doing a bit of shopping, you know, doing that Saturday afternoon thing, then I put this on, and there's no real physical exertion when you're wandering around the town, so it's good for that. It's good for that. But in the autumn, I wore it a couple of fishing sessions when I was clambering up and down muddy banks and stuff, and rushing to the next swim, and whew, I really got sweaty. So that's just the way it is. I can't do anything about that. So think on before you buy one of these new Barbours with the plastic lined sleeves. But back to the Beaufort. Somebody in the comments said, well, why not take a needle and thread and bend it yourself? Because another person said, why not just send it into Barbour and they'll mend it for you? Well, that's easier said than done, especially as I live in Denmark. So that was a no-go. That was just too much bloody fuss, and you know, with Brexit and everything, all the duty and the toll, and oh god, what a nightmare. Anywho, so what I did was, I thought, well, I actually can sew, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a good skill to have. And so I thought, well, let's get to work. So let's have a look at the Beaufort. Well, first of all, as you can see, it's got a nice new re-waxing. I've re-waxed the lot, and I've paid particular attention to the seams, as they say. But the jacket was so dirty, I did something that is not in the textbook, and in fact they warn you not to, and that's using hot soapy water. The only way I could remove the old wax was to get actually hot soapy water with a not a Brillo pad, but certainly like a pad to get rid of all the grime, and it worked, and I've re-waxed it, and it's well, yeah, that's nice, isn't it? So the old, and of course it was real stiff and sort of yeah, cardboardy, but now it's got the wax on, it's got back to its old supple self. So there we are, so that's all repaired. Now let's just have a look at the sleeves. The sleeves were really ripped and opened up. Now I haven't sewn these sleeves, thanks to some really good tutorials on YouTube. There's a way of doing it. You make an internal patch and then use a fabric flexible glue. So you've got a big internal leather patch in there, and this glue sort of sticks the fabric to the patch that's inside, and it makes a real nice job. I mean, obviously it looks like Frankenstein's monster really, but who cares? It's going to wear. It's going to. I think it's going to last a few years. So that's the sleeve sorted out, and then of course the poacher's pocket. I'll try and just show you what would happen there. The poacher's pocket had come away along here, so the zip had come away, so it was constantly open. But now I've done it so that it's repaired. I just sewed it back in. There we are, nice. Bit quite neat that. I should be a seamstress. But it's practical, and I used actual fishing line to sew it. I've used what's called a braided line, which is like a plaited line, so that won't wear out. So the poacher's pocket is back in action. It's got the new wax on it. I shall now give it a try on, because I haven't had it on. I've just been mending it. The lighting's not very good actually. I think it's a bit too bright, but never mind. But now you may see I'm a little bit stiff in the shoulders. It's because I'm going under the knife next week. I've got osteoarthritis in both shoulders, and they need to go in and remove the excess bone growth, and there we are. And I've got a back pocket. Now back to the Bristol, I've had that a year now, and I still reach back for the poacher's pocket after a year. So if you're used to a Beaufort with a big back pocket, stick with them. That's what you want to do. Stick with them. Yeah. So let's have a fashion parade. There we are. There. And there's still plenty of room to get something underneath. So yeah. I mean, I never imagined it would turn out this good. I'm really pleased. As I said, it looks a bit like Frankenstein's monster, but who cares? It's going to keep it going for another couple of years anyway. So there we are. So if you have an old Barbour jacket or an old wax, let's just say any wax, it's worth repairing, because once you give it a new bit of new wax coating, they're just like new again. So that's really good. So that's it. My Bristol and Beaufort repair review. I'll see you later.